We have a lot of trails at the farm that get branches and prickers growing out into them. This is the solution I came up with to make it go a lot quicker. I have been using hand clippers, chainsaws, trimmers, string trimmers with the razor attachment onto it. That takes a lot of time. So I got myself a hedge trimmer. This is a nice one. It's got 1.5 inch gap to them. The best part is it uses the Ryobi 40 volt batteries I already have for some of my other tools. Ideally, you would go out and buy like a Lane Shark or a Trailblazer or one of these companies, but I don't have all the hydraulics on my tractor for that, and then the rotary cutter Lane Shark itself costs, well, I don't even know, $3,000. So adding all the attachments onto that is not the kind of money I have. So I strapped the hedge trimmer to my forklifts, and this is not something I would recommend anybody to do because obviously it's extremely dangerous. But I'm going to do it again, that's for sure. It saved me so much time. Some things I would do differently is take those forks off. They got in the way a bunch. So eventually I did get down and take the forks off and just use the frame to hold the string trimmer. But as you can see, it does a pretty good job, and I got better with it as time went on. Some of the bigger branches, if you just go slowly up to them and kind of park next to them, it will cut them. And of course the little stuff it cuts no problem. How to get the speed right. The slower you go, the better job it does. So I think whenever I mow this back area, I'll keep attaching this and doing it until I get it how I want it, and then it will be a lot easier to maintain. You can see it's really grown over in some spots. Later that day we went through here with the golf cart, and the next day we came through with the golf cart, and really didn't have any branches and prickers to worry about sticking out. So it really saved a lot of work. I mean, days worth of work down there trimming up stuff. Branches do get hung up on it. Taking the front forks off did help. A little bit. I thought about mounting it upside down, but the front end loader's height changes so drastically anytime you go over bumps that I know for sure the end of the hedge trimmer would get gouged into the ground and break. So that kind of not a question unless I'm doing really high branches. Then I could potentially flip it around and do it upside down, and then it cuts everything and falls to the ground. For anything even remotely head height, I would not take the risk of turning it upside down. But it does good. Just the only fear I had was it falling off, coming loose. It didn't. I was afraid it was going to fall off and cut the hoses. I think it really chopped a lot of these branches, no problem. It really saved me so much time. But and it's so far away from me. If it did fall off, it wouldn't get me. It would scarily maybe cut a hydraulic hose if it fell wrong. So, but I have so much stuff hooked onto it that there's no way it could fall totally off. So many things would have to break. I did take some video from different angles, but I don't know if the battery died or that was the point where the camera might have fallen off and I ran over it with the tractor. Yeah, I do get off occasionally and clean all that debris off. I got how I attached it was a whole bunch of bungee cords. About 8 bungee cords, and some blocks of wood, kind of bracing it in place. I didn't want it tilting or rocking, so the wood helped level everything out. Overall, big success for me, but it's so dangerous and crazy looking, there's no way I think you should do it. That's my disclaimer so I don't get sued. I kill those dang gumball trees. Those are the most annoying trees in the world to me. Yeah, I was just out there today driving the golf cart. I had forgotten how overgrown it was before I did this, so it definitely works wonderfully. I wish a company would come up with something that you can put on the front of your tractor like this, battery powered, pretty much this setup, except a little bit more sturdy. I think it would sell a lot of them. Some of the other things on the market are just too expensive for normal people. Since it's only a 2-foot bar, obviously I'm going to have to make multiple passes to get different elevations through here. Try to go head height first, and I did come around again to get a little bit above head height. Yeah, see, it does a pretty good job. I had forgotten how bad it was down there. But thanks for watching.